I've realised that my husband hates me. I mean, he must do. To announce to your wife that you haven't done your Christmas shopping on December the 23rd and then bugger off to work. I mean, what would you have said? Of course, you'd have told him it was his own bad luck, but not me. My catchphrase pretty much since we got married has been, it's not a problem, so it's my own fault, really. Ugh, fruitcake. This is the only time of year I really allow it in the house. This whole thing of having fruits or vegetables in cake, I just don't get it. And I can't fathom how the world has descended into this banana bread fascination. It's the deceptive cakes I can't stand. At least with lemon drizzle or carrot cake, they're being upfront with their contents. But then you get someone bring Christmas cake to a school function of all things. Not only does it have a 4-inch layer of marzipan, the most vile substance on earth on the outside, but the whole thing, and I mean the whole cake, is 98% fruit. You just can't escape from it. You find yourself wanting to say, no, Gladys, it's not Christmas cake. It's not a delightful treat for the children and their parents. It, as this vile concoction deserves to be called, is bloody fruitcake. I don't know why we buy the stuff every year. Well, I do. It's so when his mother is finished criticising the house, the decorations, the presents, and my outfit, she can then have a door-wedge slice of fruitcake and half a bottle of sherry. Oh, she'll complain it's dry, of course, despite demolishing it. It's what she does. Don't look at me like that. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And you didn't see the insanity out there. I'm telling you, British manners go out the window when you're standing between a woman and my last packet of Marks and Spencer's finest gravy. Oh, that's the stuff. And it's needed when you've been on your feet from 7:30 a.m, fighting your way through psychotic shoppers because your sister-in-law has to have lemon and ginger scented bath oils. I don't know why he bothers anyway. Everyone knows Louise would happily bath in a metal tub outside with fairy liquid if it meant more men stared at her. I'm not saying she's easy, mind you, but if only the Christmas tree went up and down as easily as her knickers, we'd have much less of a palaver every year. It's just stress and insanity from mid-September. I only have about 3 seconds to breathe between getting the kids back to school and my Christmas chaos begins. Of course, Mike says, I don't know why you get so stressed about it. But then he only sees the hallmark moment, the happy faces on Christmas Day, the delicious dinner and the lovingly wrapped presents, not the hours I had to spend pulling my hair out trying to remember which of his co-workers is allergic to nuts, so I don't accidentally commit murder as part of Secret Santa. Not even getting the house ready, gift bought and food cooked the stressful part. It's the lead-up events. You know what I mean. The kids' carol concerts, nativity plays and his works party. That means not only do I have to spend all day charging around to get the to-do list for that day done, but then I have to make myself presentable and go out and pretend to smile at school parents or his heinous colleagues, when all I really want to do is curl up on the sofa with a glass of wine, watch awful television and count the days till it's all over. But eventually, after all the stress and completing my millions of lists, the day itself arrives. I thought when we got our own house that we'd decide how Christmas was spent. Silly me. The children will come charging in from 6 a.m, bouncing off the walls already. Mike's not at his best in the morning, so I scurry with them downstairs to watch something bright and musical on the television, the sight of which at that hour of the morning slices through my already frayed nerves. But it keeps the children busy until Mike can stir himself into consciousness. The morning in our house is quite relaxing, the calm before the storm, I like to call it. Then at 10 a.m. they arrive, like clockwork. You can hear Marilyn's rendition of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen before she's reached the top of the drive. Normally she's had more than one buck's fizz, so the gentlemen really are quite merry. I've got it down to a fine art now that once they're through the door, I usher them into the lounge, because otherwise I have to have a half-hour conversation with Marilyn as she inspects everything in my kitchen. She can't help it. It's like a compulsion. But then Mike takes over and plays the host. I will take credit for the house looking so nice when it was me who wrestled with Christmas lights for 3 hours to get them on the tree that I fought with to get down from a loft, but I let him have his moment. There's one moment that makes it all worthwhile for me though. After the hours of running around in the kitchen to make sure lunch is on the table for precisely 1 o'clock, followed by the 2 hours of compulsory family trivial pursuit that always ends in tears, a flipboard or fisticuffs, that's when I get my moment. The moment when Marilyn opens the perfectly hideous gift I bought her, and because she has no other option, she has to sit there and smile and thank me for the lovely gift and say, I know just where to put it. It's such a beautiful moment, it makes all the stress leading up to it worthwhile, and I most certainly deserve it. I spend the rest of the year saying, it's not a problem. I arrange dinner parties, I organise school events, I make sure he goes to work in clean pants and comes home to a cooked meal. I do all of that and still they will find ways to throw my schedule off balance. He'll announce his good suit needs dry cleaned, or one of the children needs a dozen cakes the next day. And every time I say, it's not a problem, because it's not, the rest of the year. So we have this unwritten agreement between us, that for this one time of year, I am allowed by little moments of joy or stubbornness when it comes to dealing with his family. And then for the rest of the year, he gets a calm house and a wife who's more than happy to say, it's not a problem.
Cheers.
That was Not a Problem, written and read by Rachel Feeney Williams. Not a Problem was performed as part of the Literary and Discourse Society,